5 months ago, my two best friends, Drew Leinanen and Juan Guerrero, were murdered in Pulse nightclub. And I'll never forget the feeling. It's a sinking feeling. When you're kneeling on a sidewalk and people are running past you, police officers are in riot gear, and you know your best friends are never coming back. So it would have been easy for me to just crawl under a blanket somewhere and say, you know what, I can't do it. I'm not going out anymore. But on June 12th, something else arose inside of me. It was like a call to action. And I knew that with our politicians, enough was enough. Because if this could happen here, it could happen anywhere. And if this could happen to my friends, it could have been anybody else's friends. And so that day I picked myself up. I joined the Pride Fund to End Gun Violence just a month later.
Woohoo!
Thank you. And I've been fighting ever since to give back the voice to 49 people who had theirs robbed. Listen, the sad reality is that in America today, money talks, right? And politicians are all about talk the talk, and then they sell their soul to the highest bidder. That is our reality. But I think it's time that we ask for a little action instead of talk. Action like Chief Val Demings is going to bring to the table.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
As the chief of police, she lowered violent crime by 40% in Orlando, and she's going to do the same thing in Congress. I believe that. Action like Stephanie Murphy is going to bring to the table. Because unlike John Micah, Stephanie Murphy is actually a leader, which is important.
Yes.
John Micah, I'm sorry, he's despicable. He cares about the dollar sign on the bottom of the check and the person signing it. 2 days after Pulse, John Micah was accepting a check from the NRA. While I was planning Drew's funeral services, John Micah was siding with the gun lobby. So for me, the choice is very clear. I don't have an option. There's only one person fighting for me, and it's this woman right here.
Yes.
And we couldn't have a conversation about inaction if we didn't talk about Marco Rubio. Because if there's somebody who just could coin the word inaction, it has to be him. He has not voted 8.5 times more than anybody else in his class. He has the worst attendance record of a Florida senator in decades. The man doesn't show up to work. You know what we do to people who don't show up to work where I'm from? We fire them.
Yes.
So my message is, that's right, my message is, Marco Rubio, you are fired.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a candidate in Patrick Murphy who will show up to work.
Yes.
That's job number one. But the problem is that when Marco Rubio shows up to work, he's worse. And I'll tell you why. Marco Rubio told us again and again he would not return to the Senate. Did he not?
Yes.
He said, oh, if I've said it once, I've said it 10,000 times. I'm not going to be a senator again. And then he did something I can't even imagine. He said, Pulse happened. Now I have to return to the Senate. I have to fight for the people that I've been stepping on for the last 6 years. And so for the first time in 6 years, he returns to Washington, his triumphant return, votes down common sense gun reform, and says he has our backs. He took my pain, used it as a stepladder, and he's trying to revive a failed political career. So again, I say, not here, not ever, you're fired. Like Carlos said, they tell us every year that it matters. And for me, this year, it really matters. Because we have people from the top of the ticket all the way down who simply don't care about anything else than lining their pockets. So we have to demand a change. Politicians may sell out. People may accept donations from the NRA. That's a reality. But we still own the government. On June 12th, my 2 best friends and 47 other people lost their voice far too early. But I didn't lose my voice. And so that's why I've dedicated myself all the way through, for the end of time, to give them the voice they deserve, the vote they deserve, right? A vote for Stephanie Murphy, a vote for Patrick Murphy, a vote for Hillary Clinton, and a vote for what matters to us, which is real change, real reform, and equality.
Yes.